Where are we at? We live? Should be. Here we go. What's up, you guys? David Fox, the Black Belt Realtor, here with another episode of the Keepin' It Real Estate podcast, and my man Jordan Bobbitt, and Jerry. How we doing, boys?
Good.
You just got back from your 15th cruise of the year or something. Is that what happened?
It was good. First of the year.
First of the year? I guess it's only February. Yeah,
it's February.
Joe, so that was. Did you happen to make a stop in Mexico at all?
We did. We barely missed it. Yeah, what's going on there? Right?
What is happening over there?
The United States.
Dead? Is that?
The United States went in.
Oh, it was us.
Well, we supported somehow, some way. I heard on the news, the Mexican government, and they went and killed a cartel leader, and they didn't take it kindly, and now they're responding. I guess is the easiest way
By
to
blowing up their own country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, their own people.
My brother was just telling me how safe Mexico was. He's like, it's safe. I was like, nah. Yeah, I was like, I mean, I won't go back. You're welcome to go do whatever you want, but
Sherry and I. So the ports are safe. The ports themselves, because the ports are blocked off from the outside.
They're literally
it's like they're gated,
tall gated fence.
Walls don't work, but they're all walled off.
Yeah.
And then you always have police at the gates, so people can't just come in. So the inside the ports, where all the little shops are, the touristy areas are safe. Once you step out, it is drastically a different world.
It's dramatically. I know we went to Cozumel.
Yeah,
and
that's what they went.
And it was and even my brother, he's like, "Oh, Cozumel's great." I was like, "Dude,
Cozumel's one of the safer." Yeah. Nope, it is. Trust me.
I mean, that may be, but that's not saying much.
Let me tell you. Yeah. I mean, and my personality. You know me. I don't give a rip. I'll go wherever, whenever. I got to look and see where Sherry and I went. As soon as you walked outside that door, I grabbed her hand a little bit harder, and I was like, "Okay, this
on this trip."
Yeah,
it was Honduras.
Where'd you
It was
go?
Honduras. It was Honduras. No. I'm talking walk through the door. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Not only do I have to watch out for myself, now I got to watch out for Sherry." I walked 300 feet out, and I was like, "No, nope. I'm out. I got to go back."
300 feet into Honduras, and you're wow.
I mean,
what did we see?
It was just. You literally just walked into a third world country.
Like people with machetes.
No, it's
like
if somebody would have come out the door with a machete, that would not have shocked me at all. Wow. At all. Wow. Because that is just and then they're around they're I don't want to say they're harassing you, but they're harassing you. Where are you going? Do you need a ride? Like, I'm going to ride with you anywhere, right?
Yeah, right.
Anyways, we can take you here. We can do this. And it's, again, if it was just me, that's one thing.
Yep.
Even though there's 5 or 10 of them, I still would have. Someone's going to pay, right? At least one of them.
Sure. I'll get one now.
Yeah, I'll get one. Yeah. But I had to worry about Sherry, and that's where I was. After a certain point, I just like, we're going back, and she's like, good. So.
Well, that is, we're happy to have you back in the States. I take it you didn't buy any houses while you're down there. You weren't shopping for real estate in Honduras?
Not in Honduras. If any of them outside of the United States, honestly, in a Caribbean country, the only one I would even consider would be the Bahamas.
Bahamas, right? Yeah. No property tax, right? From what I understand.
No property tax, no income tax.
That is one. Weren't you telling me about that though? Like don't they give like preference or treatment to domestic citizens? Yeah.
You're talking about for jobs?
Oh, it was business, or was it business?
It's businesses and jobs. Oh, okay. So their caveat is, if I want to move to the Bahamas, I can move to the Bahamas. The more I spend, the more preferential treatment I get as I spend more money on property. So. And don't quote me, I think it's $500,000. If I spend $500,000 on a house, then I automatically get not citizenship. I get residency.
Oh, wow.
So I can stay there.
Oh, no way. You just buy it. That's crazy.
If you spend $1 million, then you can apply for citizenship.
Interesting.
And then as far as work goes, you can go there. You cannot take a job from a Bohemian, and you cannot apply for a job if another Bohemian qualifies for the job. So Bohemians have more preferential treatment, and I think I'm down with that.
I'm not mad about it.
No, I'm good with that. And then if I want to open a business, this is what I think you were talking about. You have to have a Bohemian sponsor.
Okay.
So you have to have a naturalized Bohemian then sponsor you, and that really just means they're part owners, and it's really just means you're giving them a kickback. They have to be, I think, 10% minimum owner.
Okay.
So that's like the guy we go scuba diving with.
Sure.
One of his workers, we were just small talking, and he was like, "Yeah, that's how I found out." He's like, "You have to have a Bohemian sponsor," and that's why he works here, because his mom owns 10% of my business.
All right, fair enough.
So, and I'm good with all of that.
Yeah,
honestly, I think why should you let the
I mean,
they're
prioritizing their own people.
Yep.
Sure.
So I'm good with that. I'm good.
All right, so we're going to start with Tales from the Trenches. Y'all got anything this week exciting? I got a couple. One.
Go ahead and start.
Yeah. I was on vacation.
Yeah, well, you were out. So we obviously the weather breaks, and literally my phone is blowing up, right? Like, and I've got a lot of people reach out. I had a couple showings in Chelsea. Trying to keep them straight. I had a new client referral from Terwilliger. Thanks, Terwilliger, if you're watching. They're first time home buyers. They're shopping. She's like, so she married. She got citizenship through marriage, so she's not from America. She's like, we're not picky. 150,000 is what we're looking for. And I was like, okay. I said, just understand, I think once we start seeing homes, you'll see what 150,000 can get you, though. I said, I respect it. I think a lot more people should live within their means, but just, be like 150, then it's a cost comparison of what is, you're usually not going to get a turnkey house for $150, Usually the threshold is like 200-ish. Is like to where
depending on the city.
Depending on the city.
Yeah, they're looking at Dearborn Heights, I think, right now. So
200.
Depending, I think depending on the pocket, right? But then one of the ones specifically in Chelsea, they did one of these things of they hired what's the website where it's a for sale by owner. But it's on the MLS.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that do it.
And it's just like this. They're asking just under $400,000, and this thing's been on the market $370. It's been on the market 5 months, and now all magically, which it happens, right? They magically have 2 offers, and
okay.
I mean it's whatever.
Maybe.
Actually, I should check and see if it's active. Yeah,
it's active.
I'm curious, but then you get there, and it's like. They did a lot of work to that. They bought it. You can see when they bought it for. They did a lot of work to the house since 2016, but it's nothing like earth-shattering. You can tell they did a lot of the work themselves. Someone knew their way around a chop saw and a brad nailer. Is what it came down to. And I'm walking through it with my boy. He's one of our purple belts. You guys know him, Nate Braley.
The name sounds familiar.
Big, he loves Darces. Anyway, it didn't feel like $370,000. The door handles were loose, light switches. I was like, this is stuff that freaking drives me nuts, dude. You're asking.
I always tell people.
I was like, you're asking, how much effort does it take to tighten this
change
door?
A light bulb?
How much effort does it take to change a light bulb? If you won't do the low effort things, what does it say subconsciously to somebody about the big ticket things? That what does that say? And so, and he just, we walked right. So thanks, no thanks. But that was one. And then I've had several people now. I think I'm gonna change my tune on they own a house and they're trying to buy. I'm gonna just list it. We're not even shop until you list your house, because contingent offers, dude,
go nowhere.
They go nowhere. They literally go nowhere.
Well, and I always tell my clients, you put yourself in that seller's situation.
Yeah.
Would you take an offer where somebody says, "Ooh, I haven't even sold my house"?
Yeah.
Does that sound like somebody that's really serious to you? I mean, put the house up on market, and then you make your house contingent.
That's what I said.
Upon finding a home of your choice. Mm-hmm. That's a little bit more palatable for the buyers and sellers.
How long do you normally put in the contingency for the sale to find it?
It's all negotiable. Yeah, but I mean, typically I put 30. I put 30.
30?
30 days. Give us 30 days. Listen, because I'm asking you to stop looking. Give me 30 days to find a house. If after 30 days I haven't, no harm, no foul. I go back to you and say, can I have another 30?
I see.
And I'll even write in there in the contingency that if you find a different house now, I've got 48 hours to either remove my contingency or just release you to go get the other house. It's all about playing fair.
Sure.
You know that. I'm all about fair to both parties. Nobody should be getting screwed in deals.
Probably want 60 days, I think.
Sometimes
and that's fine.
I probably want it's 30.
But it's all negotiable.
30 this month is tight.
Well, and I think that's
June, right?
Exactly. And I think the time of year, the climate of the real estate industry, where you're at, those are all, things that you need to take into consideration. But sure, do I start at 60? Probably.
Yeah.
Am I going to negotiate down to 30? Sure. Because I at least tell my clients, at least we have 30 days. It's better than nothing, right?
And you can always, like you said, try and get an
extension. I start with no date. It's contingent on my clients finding a choice.
He's more sneaky than me. I'm all about being fair.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it, Jordan.
It's contingent on finding a choice. And now in 2 months, if you're like, hey, we know, then whatever, sure, but I'm not going to rush my clients if they don't.
Yeah,
they're not going to catch it.
Yeah, that's. I think I'm going to take that approach. I kind of like that. Okay, well then let's get into some Reddit rundowns. Okay, so I am. Let me share my screen. See if it should let me. Yeah, there we go. And we'll put this one. Okay. No, don't do it. I'm selling my home. I don't really feel right. Hang on, I got to back up. It doesn't really feel right with me losing 5% in realtors' commissions on my hard-earned money. Let us assume a $500K property. 5% is $25,000. Thank you to Jordan's math lesson last week. We can do that in our heads. Dude, did you see that part?
No.
It's crazy. I'm going to clip it out. I don't know how much you get paid, but for me, it really is a lot. I'm thinking of selling. Is my property mine? Is it hard to do it myself? Yes, your property is yours. Okay. Lots of good comments actually on this Reddit rundown.
Yeah, there was.
Who wants to take this? Let's start with Jordan. Jordan, what's your kind of stance or play or on someone who comes to this? First off, let's talk about the language because I think there's even myths in this Reddit rundown of that they just think that everything is fixed, which it's not. And secondly, there's also there's some nuances to it. So I'm going to punt this to you.
Yeah. So first thing I say to people who say that, they're going to automatically save, 5-6% or whatever the both sides of the commission is. One, most buyers, especially in today's age with the buyer broker contract having to be signed before we go and show houses, you're limiting. If you're not paying any commission, saying I'm not paying a buyer's agent, now you're limiting your potential pool of buyers to only people who don't have an agent and are looking for a house. Well, how many people are looking for a house actively and don't have an agent? Not too many.
What are the stats of unrepresented home buyers?
I don't know the stats anymore.
I know on the buyer side only.
Yeah,
that I don't know.
I know because I was looking up pre-show. This was the other thing too. On average, it doesn't matter if you're looking at NAR data, if you're looking at independent data. The lowest or the lowest amount that they have on there is a 10%. Is how much less a FSBO will get. Some of them have them as high as 30% less. So at the low end, and like I said, it doesn't matter if you're talking NAR data or independent data or fill in the blank from where, the low end, you're still losing 10%. So so your 5% that you're claiming, you're still losing another 5% on top of that. And that's just because, there's plenty of reasons. But to even put it in simplest terms, who sells a car for the most, a dealer or a private seller? Dealers typically sell cars for more than your private sellers do. So.
I think So I think it's a good point, right? And first off, even in these comments, which Reddit can be, they're very anti-realtor. But even still, they're like, okay, well, let's be realistic. You're not saving the entire gross commission. You're still gonna pay a buyer's agent, right? And even one guy who was pro, for sale by owner, he's like, but don't do the not paying buyer's agent commission because you'll lose those guys. Yeah. And I think according to chat, if I take it with a grain of salt now, 88% go unrepresented, or excuse me, 88% of buyers are represented. So you just lost 88% of your buying pool. And what do we know but moves the price up? Eyeballs.
Right. And you have to remember that 12% that didn't go with a buyer broker contract, in my 30-some years of experience, those are the people that are, well, I'm going to do what I want to do. And if they buy it for sale by owner, their mentality, I guarantee you, is, well, if you're not paying, if you're not paying that 5%, 6%, whatever it is that you want to use in your head,
I deserve the savings.
Then I'm going to save it.
Yep.
So you're not paying my broker contract. You're not paying your listing agent. There's 5-6%. So I'm knocking it off the price right there.
I hear that. I hear that all the time.
And so it's just a loss. And this is what I tell people: if you want to do it yourself, is it something that I would say 50% of the people can do if there's no hiccups? It's just a straight, simple deal. Absolutely.
50%?
I would say 50. I would say 50.
If there's no hiccups.
That is generous.
If there's no hiccups.
Have you seen...
I said no, and I'm being nice.
Have you seen... Okay.
But listen.
There are times sometimes...
Well, hang on. 50%... Hang on. 50% of homeowners.
Correct.
Okay, I'll give you that. I was thinking 50% of the general public.
No,
I was like, no.
That's a 10.
No, did you see did you see there was this slight tangent. There was a guy was trying to make a place to store food in the woods that bears could not get into. Right? Like for camping. Like so like instead of hanging on a tree, like you put it. So and he was like, and I forget the exact language of his conclusion. He said the overlap between the smartest bear and the dumbest human is very thin. He's like, so
I would agree with that.
If we made it to keep every bear out, some humans would not be able to use it. And so that's when you're like 50%. I was like, dude, no. But if they were able to, buy a house, get in a position to buy a house, you're.
And again, I'm saying the simplest of PAs.
Yeah, sure.
Because once you start getting into addendums and contingencies and everything, and I mean, like I tell everybody, if I give myself, if I cut my arm, all joking aside, if I could tolerate the pain, I could stitch myself up 5 or 6 stitches, sucks, whatever, but I could do it. Am I going to die? No. But
as long as you clean it.
Sterile.
As long as there's no problems. But as soon as there's a problem, I probably should have went to the doctors and had them do it, right?
Yep.
This is your largest investment of your life.
Yep.
And you're going to cry over that percentage that you have to pay a professional when you're going to go out to eat and give your waiter or waitress a 10, 15, 20% tip.
Sure.
But you're going to cry over somebody making let's use their example of a 5%.
Which goes
to 4 different people.
Goes to 4 different people. Yeah, absolutely.
And I got to pay all my costs, my licensing, right?
Your insurance.
My insurance. Yeah. I'm considered 1099. My own Social Security. I don't have health care. I don't have a retirement. I don't have, personal days. I don't have vacation days.
I don't even know what a weekend is.
Yeah. Right? You're on call pretty much. If you're a good agent, your phone never goes off.
Yep. So this is there's a few good points in here I do want to address. Many buyers will simply not touch it for sale by owner, so you lose those bulls. And like others said, you will have to pay the buyer's agent, so you're only saving effectively the list side. But then there's also, where's the agent who said, I can tell you as an agent, I typically get it for less than if they had just used an agent, because you dust them, bro. Like you start throwing things in there.
They don't know about no tax prorations. That's a huge one, and I'll try to. I don't want to say I'll try to sneak that in, but I've tried to sneak that in, and whatever. The guy didn't want to pay any closing costs, so he wasn't going to pay any extra closing costs, and they caught it, but whatever. But I mean, not trying to be funny, just that alone, just tax prorations on an average house, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. If you're talking 500 in this area, now you're talking upwards of $10,000.
And if there's any assessments,
yeah,
I had one of my clients on the buy side. Yeah. We threw in there that the seller was paying all due and future that were already on the rolls, and it was a $15,000 that still needed to be paid on a road assessment that was due like over a 10-year period of time. Wow. And the listing agent didn't catch it. Not my problem. And he got to we literally are at the closing table and goes, Jerry, can I talk to you out here? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? So it's a guy I had known for 15 years. He goes, this assessment, it's on my seller's side. I'm like, yeah. Said it was in the purchase agreement. He goes, we can't do that. I'm like, yeah, you can, because you will. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
They took it from the net.
Yeah, the proceeds.
That proceeds.
Yeah, they have to. That was in the purchase agreement. And
so how did you catch the assessment? How did you catch the special assessment?
I didn't.
An assessment, for the record, is. Well, explain what it is.
So
it's like they do a special.
So a city or a township will do a special assessment on your home if something needs to be done. It might be if you're like out in the country, right? I'm out in the country. I have a ditch out front.
Yeah.
They do a special assessment to come through and clean it out like every 5 years, and it was like. It wasn't even every 5. And it was like a $300 assessment. I could either just pay the $300 or they'd put it on my tax roll, $100 per year for 3 years, whatever. This one was for an actual road. So from a gravel road to a concrete road. And you get, when that typically happens, you'll get billed by the foot frontage of your property. Well, when you're out in the country and you have 300 foot of frontage for a double wide road. Oh,
I got to let my sister, sister's going to, her home in Carlton's on a dirt road. I doubt they'll. It'll be a long time before they pay for that.
But if they do, right, you got, you're 15 feet. How wide's a road? Whatever. 15 feet, I think.
Interesting.
And then multiply that out. His was a $15,000. It might have been $20,000 because his 15 was still owed. So on that, I think they had like a $2,000 assessment per year until it is paid off.
So he thought the buyer was going to eat that?
Well, typically what happens is the buyer's responsible for anything after closing, and the seller's responsible for everything up to the day of closing. That's how taxes are done, and that's how most things are done. In our purchase agreement, we have a check mark for a special assessment.
Yeah, there's 2 check boxes.
One is for
prorated at the day of closing.
Prorated to the day of closing, and the other one says for all that is owed on any assessments. Well, I checked everything that's owed. Not just up to the day of closing, but if it's on the tax roll that it's still owed, even though it's supposed to be collected over the next 7 or 10 years, whatever was remaining, it's going to be paid at closing. He didn't catch it. Not my job to catch it. I represented the seller or the buyer.
In truth? Go ahead, sorry.
And so we get to the closing table. He just now sees it on the docs, and his sellers are furious. And understandably so. Right? It's your job to catch those things. Dude. He didn't. He called me into his office, and
what happened?
I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. He goes, I'm going to have to eat it. I'm like, you may have to. And he literally had tears in his eyes because it was a $500,000 house. He was making his 3% on that one. That's $15,000. It was a $15,000 bill owed. He was going to make absolutely nothing on that deal.
Wow.
Don't know what to tell you. My client walked out. We walked out happy and content. And that's the last time I ever saw that agent. But yeah.
Is he still licensed?
He passed away.
Oh. And this is why having a good agent matters for the people who are in the comments always saying, "Oh, an agent doesn't do," that.
So that's
saves
something
you right there. 10,
just that
$15,000.
small detail saved my client $15,000.
And if you're representing yourself on the other side, you definitely would have caught it, and you wouldn't have had an agent that would have ate it.
This is an interesting. I'm still reading these comments. This is asinine. No paleontologist 560 says the value of your property has realtors' commissions factored into that market value. You might as well use them.
Say that again.
Are you going to discount the house by 5% less? Didn't think so.
What are you saying? Because this was an argument.
That's the dumbest argument I've ever seen.
Well, it's also because we use this for concessions. So like for our on the MLS committee, our concessions are required field to put in when you're you have to enter in once a property closes. It closed for this amount. It's sold by FHA, VA, conventional, and whatever on this date. Concessions are an optional field, and it's the same thing with commissions. If you sell your house at $500,000 and you paid 6% commissions, he paid $500,000, 6% commissions. I sold mine for $470 and no commissions. We all netted the same, but I sold mine for $30,000 less. So that's what he's saying, because that was the argument for concessions. Do we put them in? Because now let's say you've got 6% commission and you've got a 5% concession because you've got an FHA buyer who needs a bunch of concessions back. Well, now you've just got 10% less for the house if someone just paid cash and doesn't need an agent at all. So now that's why he's saying
that's some mental gymnastics,
yeah,
a little bit of trying
and I'm not
to hop around.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, and I don't like putting my concessions in because appraisers then will use it against you. Yeah. And we can, that's a whole other monster that we can talk about for an hour.
Yeah, a long time.
Because I'm not, and I love appraisers, but I don't at all like how the industry works.
Yeah.
It's an open book test. Hey, I sold the house for $575,000. Here's all my terms, conditions, down payments, and everything. So now you know the sale price.
Yeah.
Now I want you to go appraise it. Well, they already know now. Yeah. I have to get it appraised for $475, right? That's just so asinine. You shouldn't see. The only thing you should know as an appraiser are what are the terms, FHA, conventional, or VA, because each one of those have different guidelines.
Yeah.
And so I need to know, okay, if it's FHA, I need to follow these guidelines. That's all you need to know. If it's conventional, I need to follow these guidelines.
Yeah.
Does it appraise on a conventional? Does it appraise on an FHA?
Yeah.
FHA, VA are pretty close.
We should have. Do you have an appraiser we can have on?
We can have Joe's guy in.
Yeah.
We'll have
he's good.
We'll have Joe and his guy in.
I like Joe. All right, so moving right along. Is it a good idea? Let's screen share. Pop this bad boy out. Is it a good idea to sell our house? Our expenses are creeping up, and the people I live with don't seem to care. My wife and I are currently taking care of my elderly parents, and to accommodate, we purchased a $700,000 house 4 years ago. We both gross $260,000. So is that $260,000 each?
Well, they both gross $260,000, then I would say $260,000 each.
Yeah, but after retirement and taxes, I'm gonna guess it's not.
No, it's not.
Taxes and stretches. Since it was built before the COVID price hike, we got close to $500K equity in the house. Boom, and in the house, in the home, a nice 3.3 APR, bro.
Okay. So I lose.
Yeah,
why are you moving?
But now the taxes and insurance is weighing on my finances, along with my other expenses.
Stop. If you're making $250,000, you have $500 equity. That means,
dude, the equity's irrelevant as far as his payment goes.
Since my wife works from home and I travel for my job, I told my wife to sell the home in the next 2 years and move into a little cheaper house. The amount of house you would have to downgrade into with the difference of APR. Granted, he's got a lot of equity, so.
But what he said he was looking to go from
we're in our 40s and maxing out our retirement, which makes us cash poor.
He wants to buy like a $500,000 house. What he fails to realize is $500,000 house today is not anything close to what his $700,000 house 5 years ago is worth.
If I buy
and he's going to go up to 5.5%, 6%.
If I buy a house around $550,000, I can make a large down payment for my equity. You can pay it off according to
cash,
and decrease my loan from $500,000 to approximately $150,000. We need to look at your budget, dog.
He didn't make any sense because he just the last sentence I thought you just said was he owes $500,000.
He said we got close to $500,000 in equity. But then he says, and if I buy a house for $550 and I make a large down payment from my equity and decrease my loan amount from $500 to approximately $150, so he's probably going to pull some of the proceeds to pay. I don't know what other bills. I mean, elderly parents, I know they can get expensive. Like if he's paying for long-term health, I don't know.
Sure.
Like I mean, he could be long-term health care if they need it could be substantial, right? Yeah. So if you don't have insurance coverage for that, so. I don't know fully. Yeah. What? So let's read some of the comments. Have you factored in the interest change, right? 3.3 to 5, which we talked about. Yeah. I mean, looking at.
I mean, his property. And again, I don't know what state he's in, but in Michigan, your property taxes are going to uncap. So you're going to be paying more on a $500,000 house today than you are on your house that is now worth $750.
No. He bought it for $700. It's worth $1.2.
Okay, I missed that. Thank you.
So his taxes would still be higher in a $700 because it's still he bought it at $700.
Yeah, this is correct, and this is interesting too. He says with that, and this guy's spot on. Best comment. He's getting an upvote from. Oh, I can't. I'm not logged in. With that income level, the problem isn't the mortgage. It's where you're spending your money day to day. All that income level, you should be able to cover a mortgage, a principal, interest, tax, insurance.
Yeah.
$4,500 to $5,000. Absolutely, you should. Yeah. So even at $260 a year, let's call it. He's probably paying 35% taxes.
I was going to say he's taking 200 home.
So I mean, well, I'd say a third of it. So how do you divide 26 divided by 380, 190? Yeah, divided by 12 is 8. Yeah, I mean you got $15,000 net monthly. Yeah, bro. Where's the rest of your money going?
Yeah.
Because the problem ain't your mortgage. It may be your biggest bill, right? But how many steak dinners you get, and how many, again, long term healthcare is. I bet it's that's what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
And they're maxing out the retirement. He said so.
Well, so it makes you feel cash. Okay, well.
He's doing
cry me a river, dog. Like, what do you want? If you feel cash poor, but if you're net positive, I do the same thing. Yeah. Like I like my bro. If I can see money, I spend money. Like that's just a fault I know about myself. So if I can see it,
I know.
in the account. If I can see it in the account,
he needs a man. No. I see it. Yeah. I see it in honestly, that's one thing. I would be like, dude, no, we can't do that. No, turn the heat down. No, you can't do that. Yeah. Because you walk in, and it's 70. I'm like, wait, it's 70 in here. Why is it 70 in here?
Yep.
I'm like, you use it from 5 p.m. on. The heat should kick on like at 3:30 or 4. So it's, temp that you need it at 5, and then at 9 kick it off. So you're not kick it off.
That's less of a like spend money thing as much as like just gotta program it thing.
Right? Wait, do you ever just get a Nest and it's not?
We said it.
Yeah, I would say it's not.
Ecobee, yeah.
But just the little bit that that we do hang out and talk. I'm frugal. You don't.
Yeah.
What is crazy? You say that, and then he drives
well, that's funny. Yeah, he drives a pickup truck that should have been retired.
Get out of here. That pickup, bro. I'm gonna send you a picture when that pickup truck reaches 250,000 miles. Like,
but it's just for priorities, right?
It's where I spend. Yeah, like I'll spend money on, and I don't really spend much day to day. Like, but I will I'll spend money on big ticket things. Honestly, I spend a lot. I reinvest into the business a lot. So I spend a lot more into.
But where I think where you do, and I would be a little bit different. You do it yourself a lot, which is awesome. But when you don't care.
What do you mean?
By that, if you want, and I guess I'll just use mats for example, where you did a ton of build out here on your own, where your mats, and I'd be willing to bet money. You just said these are the mats I want. You made it a little bit of shopping, but those are the mats I want. And I'll pay it.
Oh, Fuji, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not getting.
But Fuji mats are awesome, right?
Fuji are the bomb, yeah.
Right?
Best warranty in the business for sure, for sure.
So where I would say, okay, what can we find? Where can we look? And I would spend more time.
Secondhand mats,
not necessarily secondhand, but look at those springs.
Train jiu-jitsu at the Salvation Army's mat shop. Yeah, I've seen them.
You can get ringworm anytime you want on these mats.
I like.
But like spring floors, you know,
those are, you can make those yourself.
I've seen those made out of tires.
I've seen them too. Yeah, I actually I explored it, but then so now you have to. This is we're off topic,
Sorry.
right? Like so they
Happens
you have
every
to
time.
build up now because tires are what 4, 5, 6 inches, and then
Depends on the
you
tire
build that
size.
up. I guess. Yeah, I was thinking car tires. Yeah, just car tires.
Yeah, but it depends on the car tire.
You get the
but
used
the ones that I found were from an old, it was a gymnastic academy.
Yep.
They'd closed. He had them in storage. Dude, he was just giving them away because he was tired of paying.
Oh, the
It was
spring
cheap.
floors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had
Yeah, but
he had like 3,000 square feet of it.
Oh, he had a lot of it then.
Yeah, he
had
did.
He had a lot of it. Those are sick.
Yeah. And I had them. I had them like $6,000 for all of it.
How long was that? Well, that's
When I was looking.
Yeah.
You know,
a year
ago.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, to the original poster, yeah, they. I think it comes down to your day to day, man. You know, like, but he's maxing out his retirement. You know, so you'll be all right. I mean, it might feel. I bet there's something going on with the parents though. But after retirement and taxes, it stretches. Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't seem like a dumb guy, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing smart things. He's putting his retirement away. He's maxing it out. They both max it out. Financially, he's doing well. I think he's. And I say this word, and people think I'm talking down to them. He's just ignorant.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's a difference between ignorance and stupid. He's not a stupid guy. He's just ignorant. And I think if somebody sat down, showed him pen to paper.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Trust me, I'm ignorant when it comes to brain surgery. You don't want me doing that.
All right, so we've got. I'm 30, female. Considering
I was going to ask you.
Must be a Reddit
I was going to
thing.
ask you how old he was. Just
This one we don't know. Yeah, This must be a Reddit thing to give like your age and gender. I don't know. Like maybe for context, doesn't really apply here. I'm 30, female, considering selling my house to go back to renting because I feel like price increases have priced me out of owning my own house. For context, I live alone, so 100% of the bills, taxes are on me, and I bought my house 3 years ago.
Stop.
What?
Because she just said 100% of the taxes are on me. Well, if you're married, they're still on you. I mean, are you not?
Well, I think she was saying together to renting.
Not necessarily.
Well, what? Are you one of these couples? I pay taxes, you pay insurance, I pay for the food, you pay for the clothes, I pay for the car, you pay for the insurance.
But I know couples exactly. I literally know. We have a shared couple that we know.
Yeah.
To where one would be they have separate accounts.
Oh, I know that. I mean, I don't know who you're talking about, honestly, but I cringe. I'm like, what happened to this team thing?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it's. I think for that couple, it's more like making sure stuff gets paid thing. You know, like
if it's the same couple,
the responsible bills get paid by the responsible party, and the fun money gets paid by the fun person. I mean, but ultimately, you know,
how fair is that?
Say it again.
How fair is that? Man, we're off topic.
I think it because I think it becomes a consideration when owning a house. So it doesn't just have to be about the transaction of the home ownership, but like all of these go into decision making. Yeah. And if you're single, then to her point, for the record, all of the bills, mortgage, tax, you're paying them anyway. They're just rolled into your rent, which goes up every day.
And there's got to be a profit margin for the landlord,
right? But how fair is it for a couple? I mean, I obviously we have a shared account, but Amanda and I do, but I can't.
I've got a shared account too.
Yeah,
me, myself, and I.
You, yourself, and I. Yeah, it's probably an easy way to do it. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it work. I used to be very, very polarizing on my stance, but I don't do it, but they seem to be all right. Yeah.
Cool. So anyway, so back to her.
The insane property taxes and repairs that keep creeping up, I can no longer afford. Have all made me feel like I'd much rather sell, put money back into my savings, and pay a cheaper rent than my mortgage plus bills are currently. Good luck. I mean, good luck.
You're not going to have.
Good luck finding a.
If you think you're going to find your house. How can you find what you have? I mean, you have to compare apples to apples. You can't say I'm going to live in a $500,000 house and complain and then go live in a $150,000 rental and say, see, I'm saving money. No. How about you buy the $150,000 house and then compare it to your $500,000 house and say, wow, my bills just went down $3,000 a month.
Yeah. Well,
you can't compare the two unless you're going to compare apple to apple.
Correct.
You just can't.
So you're just downsizing your living entirely.
Right. So just go ahead and buy a buy a condo.
Buy a smaller house. Yeah.
You know, something, but build equity in it. Because I promise you, wherever you're going, that person is making money, which means you're paying more than you need to.
So this is interesting. So we can fast forward through all the comments, but she edits and says, "Thank you for all the input. I agree with the majority that keeping my home but finding other ways to make money is the best solution." That is an underrated solution. That people they have the scarcity mindset is protect and save as much as I can, which to the same point. Or here's a thought. What if instead of trying to like squeeze an extra 10% out of what you're paying in rent, what if you just made 50% more than you do now?
Most people don't want to work harder.
Well, that would be, and then second edit, as it was meant, I don't know how long apart, as if it was meant to be, I just received a job offer increasing my salary by 60%. There we go.
60?
60, yeah. So what, and
what
this
field is she in?
this is my personal kind of belief, right? Like when you have, it's amazing how much money. What were the stats? We were looking up the stats of parents and what they make. People with children, what their annual income is versus single men. Right? And it's pretty like it goes up, right? Because married men with children generally on average earn more than single men. Why do you think that is?
Because they have to.
They have to.
Oh, that's why I said in real estate.
They have to.
And it's not a sexist thing. But it's really not.
I know what you're going to say. Yeah. It's going to sound sexist.
It's going to sound it. Yeah. But it's fact. I promise. Men that are in real estate are more successful than the women that are in real estate that are married.
Sure.
On average. On average. And the reason for that is, unfortunately, most of the ladies, it's a side income. If we make money, If we don't, it's our spending money. And I hear that from a lot of them. And the men, they don't come in saying, if I make money, if I don't, no. If I don't, my kids don't eat.
It's a side hustle, right?
Yeah. If I don't, kids don't eat, mortgage doesn't get paid.
It's this or Uber Eats. And, I like houses, right? So this lady makes a good point. I was in your spot in 2012, and it took me 11 years to buy a house again. If it's hard to buy now, just imagine what it'll be in 10 years. Yeah. Imagine what that mortgage is going to be, over, call it a 50% increase in home prices over 10 years or 80 or 70 or whatever it is, And so, I think that's underrated, man. Just earn more money, right? Try it. And it sounds, callous. It sounds whatever. Last one. And what is one thing you learned when selling your home that you wouldn't make again? What is one thing you learned or a mistake you made when selling your home that you wouldn't make again? And this is just like the title says, whether you're buying or selling, what did you learn? Mine will be floating in the comments. Jerry, have you made any mistakes buying or selling over the years?
Me? Never. Man, that's a tough one.
I would just make sure you find a good agent. Don't just pick.
That's a tough one, because I'm in the business. So for that part of it, I have nobody to blame but myself. I guess, honestly, the only thing I can think of is don't be quick to either accept or reject an offer. That's,
let it sit for a little bit.
Yeah, digest it, honestly. Because I see so many times people say, no, it's $300,000 and I want $305,000. And I'm like, okay, you're arguing over $5,000. Your house payment's $2,800 a month, and it's sitting empty. If it sits here for 2 months, you've just lost $6,000, $3,600 or $4,600. No, wait, yeah, $4,600, and we're arguing over $5,000 right now.
Right.
What are you going to do in 4 months if we didn't get another offer? Are you going to kick yourself?
Yeah, I've seen
there's stress, right? The stress, it's gone. The monkey's off your back. You're not paying the gas, the electric, the water, the interest. You don't have to worry about it getting broken into. There's just so much that goes into it. If you're that close on offers, are you eating it sometimes? You might, but it's off your back.
Sure.
Even on my investments, when I flip a house, I mean, is it worth 180, 200? I mean, somewhere in there, sure. But if somebody comes around with a 175 and I'm still making 40 grand, are they getting a good deal at 170? Yeah, they're getting a good deal. Did I make good money on it? Yep. You know what? Take it. I don't even care. And I've just learned it's not worth the stress in the long haul of holding it.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, crap, how long am I going to hold this monkey?
That's valuable advice.
So that's really, don't be so quick to say no on an offer. Just digest it. Think of everything. Think of the stress. It's not just a financial decision, right? I mean, it's a mental decision. So that's probably the one thing I would say.
This is a good comment. It says, don't do too much remodeling and work beforehand. Let the next owner do that. You usually don't get all your money back. I mean, I'll add some caveats, right? Like there's getting a home sellable, and then there's let them know what's important to them. You know, so if they let's say someone brings up they liked it, but man, they're kind of hung up. Let them ask for concessions or a price reduction over something. They really want a tile, different tile or something. Oh, is that it? I mean, I can get that done for you. Like, oh, the hardwood's a little beat up. It needs refinished. You want me to refinish it? And then, but we do full last. I'll do that.
Yeah.
And so let them tell you, because everyone's gonna have a different problem everyone likes their coffee different, right? Some people, they used, when we were going through the real estate course, they said this guy was effectively selling a pink elephant, just super 1960s, super dated house. Yeah. And the buyers, like, it reminded them of home. It was almost like very similar to their childhood home. I gave them full offer like day one, and then they're like, nope, because if we're getting this day one, we're gonna get more. Dude, it sat on market for 6 months. Yeah. To your point of don't.
Yeah. Like I said, just. Yeah, and the other thing, from a seller standpoint, have a close friend that you can trust and that will be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
Look at the house from a buyer standpoint and just take notes on what they see, positive and negative, and start at the road. Because road appeal is huge, right? If I can't get you into the front door, it doesn't matter. Our first house that Sherry and I bought was an ugly, like, green color house. Pulled up, and this is, back in the day, when you had to make appointments and people were actually living in the house. Sure. Sherry pulls up and goes, I don't even want to go in. I'm like, well, we're here, and the seller is opening the door, seriously, as I'm sitting in the car. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to embarrass them or us. Let's just go in.
We're good. Thanks.
Yeah, right. And Sherry's like, fine, whatever. So we go in, and we bought it. And that was our first house.
Yeah.
So curb appeal really is huge. And then start on the outside. If a door handle's loose, tighten it. If there's, a fixture that's broken, fix it. If there's electrical that's hanging, get it repaired. Because I couldn't tell you, if a client goes in and turns on a light switch and there's no light bulb up in there or it's burnt out, the buyer doesn't know that. The buyer just thinks your electrical's not working now. I'm going to have to get I'm going to have to get an electrician in here. There's $300. And it just adds up. And to your point, if you're not taking care of the small things, they go to think, okay, they're not taking care of the big things.
Sure.
So that would be one thing I would always encourage everybody to do. And like you said, what repairs do you do? Paint and carpet, man, are huge in a house.
Yeah.
I've seen some dog houses.
Oh.
You spend $2-3 grand, and you just.
It's a full facelift.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Completely different.
Get the sewer line scoped beforehand. It's probably
especially if the house is 50 years or older.
If it's in the States, wait a full 2 years.
He's saying for the capital gains tax.
Gosh dang, that tax sucked.
Oh!
Capital gains.
Yeah.
Oh! Ouch.
Yeah, if you're flipping a house and you don't factor that in.
Oh, dang, son. I as anti-tax, but it means you made a very nice profit a short amount of time. Make sure you have some sort of, this is stupid. Make sure you have some sort of camera of some sort on property, do not keep the lockbox out at all times. Only put it outside if you know you have a showing.
Stop.
So this goes back to what I said about having a good agent. One, we use a thing called central lock boxes. At least
I love
most
those,
of our, a lot of us in our office do. And you cannot get in unless you have the app, which is synced to you as an individual. So if Dave Fox enters my listing at 9:30 p.m., well, one, you can't enter it at 9:30 p.m. because they completely shut off from 9 to 9 or whenever you set it. But let's say it's 7 p.m. and you go in, I get a notification. I know who goes in, and I know when they leave. So that's, take your lockbox. Get a better agent.
Lots of good ones in here. Your house is only worth what someone is willing to pay. Yep, that's a good one. I left.
Damn.
Okay, that one's kind of dumb. The rest of these are kind of tales from the trenches. This one says, make sure your buyer is up to date on his child support. Otherwise, the lender will not approve it, and they made him pay it before closing.
Thank you for that clarification.
All right, awesome.
That is a debt, just for you buyers that aren't aware.
So, all right, you guys. Well, we appreciate you following along. Obviously, with it's cold again, but warmer weather on the way. If you want to sell, if you're looking to buy and you own a house, you need to list first. Okay, your contingent offers, they're just not going to go anywhere. They're not. Like have you ever? When was the last one you got accepted that was contingent? A contingent offer on a house
that wasn't
listed or certainly wasn't.
I've done it, so I think it was. No, we didn't do it that way.
I'm trying to think personally. When's the last time? It's been a while. In the office,
there's been
it has been some, but again, it depends on how it's negotiated, because if it's contingent upon, there's different ways. It's another show. It's dependent upon how you write it. You can write it where the seller's not able to show it. You can write it where the seller's able to show it, and then have to give you notice that if they find another house, or another buyer. So there's just different caveats to it. So, like I said,
you probably have to have a pretty fat EMD if it's not even listed yet. Yeah.
I also don't mind showing houses to those contingent buyers. Oh, and I just tell them, look, we're only looking at houses that have been on the market for a while, because we know that they're a little bit more willing. If you don't want to, that's fine. It was that's because I knew it was somebody recent. I just couldn't remember who it was. It was Grant and Emma. Yeah. But they started doing the route of we want to wait. And so I was like, fine, we're only looking at houses then that are, we're not looking at anything new, just because it's never going to happen. And then they ended up listing their house.
And by Jordan saying it's never going to happen, when it's a new listing, if it's priced right, it's going to sell, right? Inventory is so low, it's going to sell, multiple offers. They're never going to take a contingent offer on a house selling that's not even listed, let alone listed.
Or understand your, because here's what I'm telling them too. Put yourself in the seller's shoes. Yeah, if you're offering $20,000 more than the next buyer, maybe.
No, I'm not.
Now it's got.
But I'm not. I'm still not. If you bring me an offer and it's $20,000 higher than my next offer, I'm going to tell my seller, all right, do you want? I'm going to use just $250, right? Do you want $250 in hand or $270 for a guy that doesn't even have his house listed?
It depends where the house is.
Right? Where's the house? How much are you gonna put it up for?
That's fast to give away $20,000, dude.
Is it even up to code? Are you willing to do repairs? Yeah. There's so much caveat into that. And then what happens? Are you even approved? Have you gone through an application process yet? The $250, man.
You also have to think then too, because if you're doing $20,000 apart, is it even going to appraise?
Yeah.
Is it going to appraise? Yeah.
Now, are you doing an appraisal? Are you doing an appraisal guarantee? And that's what I'm saying. There's so much things that you just got to go through the checklist and say, at the end of the day, think it's cute. You can offer me $500,000, but you can't even do an appraisal guarantee. I don't care what you're going to offer, because it's only worth $250.
Well, if any of that's the case, hit us up, guys. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. We appreciate you following along, and then we will see you next week on the Keeping It Real Estate podcast. Take care.
See you.